What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your weatherman, Lane Kenny, and I'm so glad to be back in front of my whiteboard doing another awesome broadcast for you guys. This broadcast will center one main thing, and that is our new system that we are currently watching, Invest90L. This could potentially be our first name storm of the season. Tonight I'm going to have three different parts of my broadcast. The first part is going to be I'm going to go over what hurricane season is and how long it is and what happens in it. The second one is going to be all the information that you need to know, everything about Invest90L. And the last part will be the we're gonna look at the radar and see where exactly Invest90L is, see where the rain bands are, see where it's heading, and what the impacts are going to be. Okay. So let's jump right into the first part. So I want to talk about hurricane season in general. Hurricane season starts on June 1st and it goes through on November 30th. The peak of hurricane season is September 10th, and what that means is that anywhere around that area is when we see the most action. That means, you know, when we get the most hurricanes or tropical storms. And if you're looking at this graphic right now, anywhere in the orange means hurricanes, and in the blue means tropical storms. So we have our best chance of hurricanes in and around the peak of hurricane season, obviously. But for those of you who don't know, my mom's birthday is actually September 16th, so we can never really do anything fun on her birthday because we're always getting hurricanes. But once again, just another visual. Hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th. Now, this is the forecast for this hurricane season. We are expecting 14 to 18 named storms, you know, tropical depressions, storms, and hurricanes. 7 to 9 of those are going to be hurricanes. Now, when we talk about major hurricanes, we're categorizing categories, hurricanes that are categories 3, 4, or 5, which we get pretty often here on the eastern coast. And they're predicting that 2 to 4 of them will impact the United States. Now, if we do get any hurricanes, which we probably will, but here are the names for this season. Now, if Invest90L does get a name or does become our first storm, it'll be named Arthur. So that'll be our first name storm, and then we have Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly. I'm not sure how to say that. It's like Edward. I'm terrible with names. Excuse me for that, but I believe that's how you say it. And then we go down to Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaiah, Josephine, and Kyle. Now, for right now, I would just focus on the first column. I really wouldn't focus on the second column too much. You guys know during hurricane season, if we have a major hurricane out there, I will not wait at all. I will do a video right then and there, and I will definitely let you guys know if we should start focusing on this column. But for right now, let's just focus on that first column. So this is the end of my part 1. In the next video, I'm going to be giving you guys all the information that you need to know about Invest90L. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, let's talk about our newest system, Invest90L. If this gets a name, once again, it'll be the first named storm of the 2020 hurricane season. And by the way, I told you just a few minutes ago, hurricane season starts on June 1st. I believe today is May 14th. We are nowhere close to the start of hurricane season, and we are already possibly looking at our first named storm. So this is what everybody's talking about, Invest90L. It's an area of low pressure that is just north of, I don't know what island that is, excuse me for that, but it is just south, it's just south of Key West, Florida. It has maximum wind speeds of 35 miles per hour. It is currently moving east-northeast at 1 mile per hour, which basically it's stationary, so it's basically not moving. And the pressure of it is 1,012 millibars. So you might be wondering, what is all this red? Well, this is the enhanced satellite of the actual storm, and what those are big clusters of thunderstorms that are firing up in the atmosphere. Okay, so here are some of the ingredients that are fueling up the storm. As you can see, there's a big area of high pressure right around where my laser is, right where like this like dark bluish is around here. Now right here, this is where the center of the storm will be by tomorrow. As you can see, all right here, this is all moisture in the atmosphere that is going to be driven out of the North Caribbean Sea and also the southeastern Gulf of Mexico that will be fueling this storm as it moves northeast. Okay. Now meteorologists are giving this an 80% chance of development for not just for 48 hours, but for 5 days. And if it does develop, it's going to develop somewhere around this area. Right now, the area of low pressure is right down there. It's going to travel this way, and it's going to develop out here somewhere. We're not exactly sure, but this is the rainfall totals. This is the amount of rain that we are expecting for the Bahamas and the eastern coast of Florida. Now, Daytona Beach it looks like you'll be in the clear, but anywhere out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean is where we're expecting the biggest amounts of rainfall. Yes, we could possibly see out to maybe an inch or so of rain right around just north of Miami, but really not that bad. But the Bahamas will be getting slammed by this. Now, as I said, here's the forecast. Once this thing gets out of the Caribbean Sea and goes away from Florida, it will be developing somewhere off the coast of Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. Now, here are the spaghetti models, and what these are all different types of forecasts that are forecasting different paths. So all of these lines are completely different forecasts. Now, as you can see, most of them, for the most part, are traveling, just up this line right here. As you can see, it does bypass the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina, but if you notice how close those lines are to the eastern coast of North Carolina, excuse me, it's not out of the question that the Outer Banks or extreme eastern North Carolina may get some impact from this. It's not going to be heavy at all. If anything, it'll just be a straight shower or thunderstorm. We're not looking at a tropical depression, tropical storm, or even a hurricane at all. We're just looking at just a regular day with normal rain. Right now, once we get up to here, we are expecting this storm to develop out here somewhat, and we may have impacts that will arrive in the northeast. We're talking gale force wind gusts, up to around 40 miles per hour. We could be expecting anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain. But once again, this is not a major storm. This is nothing to get nervous about. This is just and the reason why they call this an invest is because it's an area in the tropics that's currently under investigation. Okay, it's not a developed system at all. It is nothing for us to worry about here. So now here's the forecast. As I said, it will travel north, and as you can see, you can kind of see it starting to develop that center right there. I'm trying to point it with my finger right there, like that little black dot is. You can kind of see it trying to develop somewhat. It's not developed at all yet, but thankfully all that heaviest rain will stay in the middle of the system, and thankfully none of the heaviest rain bands will come near our coast. Okay. So now this is the end of part 2. In part 3, we'll be looking at the radar presented by the Weather Channel, seeing where Invest90L currently is, and seeing what the track of it will be. That's all coming next, so stay tuned. Alright everyone, we are currently looking at the potential first named storm of the season. This is Invest90L. Oh, my laser pointer, my laser was off. Excuse me for that. This is Invest90L right here. As you can see, you can kind of see it kind of maybe circling, I guess, maybe kind of like a developed storm. I want to zoom in to where the heaviest rain is actually in right now. Oh, a little too zoomed in. So this is Miami right here. This is Fort Lauderdale. So as you can see right now, we are currently getting some outer bands of what I guess you could say a subdeveloped storm, I guess you could say. I think does that say Alistown? I have no idea where that is. But thankfully, all the heaviest rain bands are still off the coast, and that will remain the case with this system. As I said, we are not looking at really any heavy bands that will be coming in off the coast of Florida. We may have a few. I'm not sure exactly where this is. It's in the middle of Fort Pierce and Sebastian, Florida. Palm Bay looks like you're in the clear, and Trussville. Once again, I'm terrible at names. But I want to show you guys the enhanced satellite of where the biggest cluster of thunderstorms is. Once my radar loads. So as you can see, a very big cluster of thunderstorms just off the eastern coast of Florida. Thankfully, this system will continue to move off to the northeast, so it is at no threat to the eastern coast of Florida. But I want to go back to the visible satellites, or my regular radar, and I want to do the feature radar so you guys can actually see this storm in motion. How cool is that? So you can see, as I'm moving, you can see that storm kind of rotating like a tropical storm. As you can see, we'll be moving to the northeast. We are expecting a few possible rain bands tonight, but you can see the storm really starting to develop. Once again, meteorologists are giving this a 80% chance of development. Once again, I mean, if you look at this, look at that. That is not developed at all. There's no eye. There's no rain band. There's no outer bands or anything. There's no cloud wall. It is not developed at all. So once again, a 0% threat to the U.S. at all. Just possibly some heavy rain with no hurricane, no tropical storm, no depression, nothing like that. Just a normal day, just a normal rainy day. Absolutely nothing to worry about at all. Thank you guys so much for watching my video and trusting me to give you guys the latest updates on all of our tropical weather. Before I end this video, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the doctors and healthcare officials in the country that are working their butts off every single day to make sure that we can try and get this coronavirus pandemic underway. A huge shout out to you guys. Without you guys, none of these efforts would be possible. So a huge shout out to you guys. I hope you all are staying safe. Hope all your families members are staying safe. And once again, I thank you for putting your trust in me and trusting me to give you guys the latest information on the coronavirus and also the latest invest on Invest90L. Thank you guys so much for watching and hope you have a great weekend.